Ms. Wiest, how are you
Hi,
today?
how are you? Fine, thank you.
Good. What an honor to speak with you. This is fantastic. Congratulations on the first season of the show, out on Blu-ray next week. And
Yes,
congratulations on the second season. Very much looking forward to that.
thank you.
You're obviously known for your plethora of soft-spoken and maternal characters throughout your career. But they all certainly showed their own version of strength. But now we have Miriam, who's not exactly soft-spoken. So there's a real fierceness to her. I'm wondering, roles like Miriam, is this your opportunity to kind of let loose a little bit and maybe give me a hidden side of Dianne Wiest?
Oh, no, I wish I could say that. It is freeing, though, in many ways to say things, to be such an angry woman that you don't care what people think of you. And so you say anything with complete, abandon. You say horrible things to people. And so that's very freeing. But it's also, it's a lot of work because that's a cover for her. I guess it's her way of mourning the shooting of her husband and the shooting of her oldest boy. So she's just rage as a defense, and how she treats her two remaining sons, because I think she's so afraid of losing them.
I also bring it up because Kingston, the town which Kingstown is based off of, hometown of co-creator Hugh Dillon, great Canadian national legend there, it very much shows, I think, kind of a jaded, hidden side of Canada that a lot of people don't know about. And you might have heard my Canadian about right there. But the fact of the matter is you got to film a lot of the first season in Kingston and surrounding areas. When you're getting in the mindset of Miriam, did you develop almost a kinship with the town at all?
Yes, I remember I just went out there. There's a boat ride which you would know about, that you take out into this beautiful, beautiful harbor, and you pass a military school and an academy there on the rocks, and it's so beautiful. And then you go around and you come past this prison complex. But it was so interesting to be on that boat and look at that and think of what's gone on behind those walls. In our show, what we're putting behind those walls, the violence and the racism and the hate, the gangs that are circling each other, including the cop gang and the correction officers gang and the African American gang and the white gang, circling each other, vying for power over whatever it is that's on the menu that day.
Staying on that Canadian thread, doing this, the research for this interview, I came across the fact that you did a Shakespearean production, I won't say how long ago, with James Earl Jones as Othello and the great Canadian Christopher Plummer as Iago. First and foremost, somebody please build a time machine, because I would love to go see that production. I wanted to make a comparison that may seem forced, but the fact that Taylor Sheridan, in his writing, could easily be seen as kind of a modern day television American version of Shakespeare, because he definitely has an appreciation for classic dynamics within the family and things like that. But I'm curious as to your views of why Taylor Sheridan's writing, and Hugh's, of course, on this show, may be considered kind of modern day Shakespeare.
He's big. Taylor is, he's big in thought. He goes to the crux of everything. He's not afraid to confront. He's not afraid to, I don't know how else to put it, except that it's large. And by that token, I appreciate what you're saying. It is Shakespearean because it's not an everyman situation, but every man can relate to it.
Staying with theater, many of your co-stars from the past, Steve Martin, Nathan Lane, we've seen them have tremendous success, like yourself, in television. And I'm curious, these performers and yourself, I'm assuming, really understand the intimacy that you develop on stage, whether it's Broadway, Shakespeare, or stand-up that you have with the audience. How do you think that's paid off with modern day television?
In a strange way, I miss I miss that dynamic when I'm working in film or television, and to compensate, and this is probably what's wrong with my acting, to compensate, the crew becomes my audience. And I can tell if I've done a scene well by their silence, the quality of their silence, or by their reaction, or somebody giggles behind the camera. I think, I got it. So I've been kind of making up my own audience. And then I have to remember, it's such a tiny little screen. You can't get big as you can in a play when you're reaching the back of the house. You can't do that. You can't give yourself that luxury. So you have to stay small. But I really love an audience. I love a live audience.
You've also worked with obviously some very, very big directors. And I will say, you know, as a huge fan of Tim Burton, Edward Scissorhands has stuck with me for many years. And what I like about his direction, and what must be, I think, part of the fun of being one of the actors on his set, is everything is there. The visual feast of these worlds that he creates is right in front of your eyes, especially when you're doing something like Edward Scissorhands in the 90s and everything is practical. Sheridan, in the same sense, is an artist, and he paints with broad strokes, as you had mentioned. But how did you find those broad strokes within the writing, or how do you think Sheridan paints a picture with his television?
As an actor, you have to be careful acting Sheridan because of his bigness. You've got to keep the subtlety there. You can't yell about it. You've got to do a subtle, incremental, step-by-step approach to it. Otherwise, it's fake.
Right. Well, yeah, that's definitely something I'm sure audiences appreciate about all your performances, is the truth behind it. So, so Ms. Wiest, thank you so much for your time. What an honor this was, and very much looking forward to season 2.
Thank you so much. You take care of yourself.
Hey Real students, thanks for watching. If you want to subscribe to Real School, click that round Real School logo right beside me. Also click that damn notification bell so you're aware of all of Real School's new content. You can follow me on Twitter, and of course, if you get anything out of Real School, you can always give a little back. Just click the link in the description below or the button down there, and you can become part of my Patreon team.